Welcome. Yes, this blog might be a little bit controversial, and just to let you know, if you do leave a comment, we're going to be watching them, and if you leave any blatantly disrespectful, cursing comments, they will be deleted. I'm not going to message you and explain why. I will just delete them, or we will just delete them. And if you're rude, I might block you too. So just be respectful of each other. If you disagree with someone, that's fine, but be respectful of their opinion, okay? Okay, so house rules are done.
All right.
Okay, so the topic. Signing music videos. So this has become quite popular recently. I'm sure you've seen videos from people like, I think it's Tina and Paul S. I don't remember their last name, but they had one video that was really popular, and it kind of helped them to become famous. And I know there's other people who have done that as well, and they sign music videos, and not currently, but there was someone named Captain Valor, and he was really popular as well. And they're all hearing. That's not my point, but they are. And, maybe you've seen sign language and you think it's beautiful, which it is. Sign language is a beautiful language. And maybe you thought, oh, well, signing and music would work perfectly together. And it can. I've seen some really beautiful performances, some really good interpretations with music videos and sign, and they're beautiful and they're wonderful to watch. But you have to think, why you like it. And understand, when you put music and sign language together, you're doing it for a specific reason.
When you're making signed music videos, you're representing the language. For the public, the people all in the world.
Hearing people that often don't really understand sign language.
Right. They don't really know the difference between what is proper use of the language and what's just, getting by. They're not able to see the difference. Not like, someone who's a deaf person or someone who's really skilled with sign language. You can tell the difference between them, and it is a big difference.
So maybe, you think, okay, there's a song and it has specific lyrics, and I'll just take the lyrics and I'll match them with signs, and, maybe they are even conceptually accurate. Or, whatever, you take it and you sign it, word for word, and you think, that's an interpretation of a song, but it's not. Interpreting sometimes can mean you take word for word. It can sometimes, but generally an interpretation is not a word for word thing. What you do is you take English and you figure out what is the meaning behind that, and you interpret that into another language, which is ASL. And with music, when you hear something auditorily, it sounds pleasing. And so you take something that sounds pleasing, you need to interpret it into something that's visually pleasing. Deaf people watch that, and they have to be able to understand that and enjoy it. And oftentimes, if you're just getting sign by sign, it's not visually pleasing for them. I'm going to try and leave a link below, if I can, to a woman named Rosa Lee. I think it's Timmons?
It's Timm's.
Okay. Excuse me. I know her first name. But anyways, she has a video, and hopefully I can link to it, where she talks about her process of interpreting music. And she talks about, her parents, and how, she has to think about how when they watch a video, it has to be visually pleasing for them. So it's kind of more based on her interpretation in that sense because of her parents. But I will try and leave a link below for that. It's really helpful to understand that process much better.
If you decide to go ahead and still make signed music videos and post them on the internet for everyone to see, you're gonna have to be ready to accept people giving feedback or giving constructive criticism. That's just to help improve your signing, because that's the point. When you do an interpretation, you want it to look good. You want it to be accurate to what the meaning of the song is. But if you just, keep going, you don't want any feedback, you're not being respectful to the deaf community. You're not being respectful to the language. And that's not right.
Right. I'm not saying specifically who, but I know there's at least one person who, makes sign music videos, and a lot of people left comments on there. Oh, it's not right, it doesn't look good, and, the person made a video saying, oh, well, I'm not being, respectful to the deaf community. I have deaf friends, and they say it's okay, online friends, and, the deaf community is huge. There's going to be some people that say, oh, yeah, that in English, that looks great. There's going to be a lot of people that say no. And in general, I've been involved with a lot of interpreting groups on Facebook, and I know many interpreters in person, and I've talked with them in person, and many of them have said that it ruins your reputation if you're not respectful. If you're taking a class and you're just trying to improve your skill, and really you want to maybe become interpreting like as a niche with music, and you decide to post a video and show it and say, hey, I'm willing to take feedback, that's humble, and you will improve your skill. I, as an interpreter, no matter who I work with, any person, I'm always telling them, let me know if you have any feedback. Anyone. It doesn't matter if the person is just beginning their sign language journey or they're amazing at it. I always want to improve my skill. And that's being respectful.
Also, when you make a signed music video, you have to think about who your audience is, your intentions of why you're showing it. If you're showing it to help deaf people visually enjoy music, then that's great, but understand it's in their language and it needs to look visually pleasing for them, and it has to make sense in sign language. And if you're like, no, I'm just doing it for myself, or I just want to, get views on YouTube and become popular, or, make money, then that's cultural appropriation. And that is not respectful, and it's not acceptable. So you need to think about your intentions behind the reason you're making the video.
Right. I'm going to include a link, and I've actually included this video in other ones before, but it's from Audie, and he has a video talking about hearing privilege. And in that video, it includes a part talking about Captain Valor. And I think it was a few years ago, but he started making, signed music videos, and instantly he became really popular, and he kept going with it. And then he started a Patreon page trying to collect money to help support him so he could, travel on tour and do things like that. And, I think he might have some relation to the deaf community, but not very much. And that caused a huge controversy. People were infuriated within the deaf community. And luckily, he realized it and he apologized and he stopped making them. And Audie talks about it in his video, so definitely I will link that down below. So check that out so you can understand why it's not appropriate for you, especially if you're not skilled with sign language. And even if you are, to make a profit from something like that, it's just not right. Okay, so again, I understand you want to express yourself through music and sign language, and it's beautiful, and I get that. I feel the same way. Sometimes I hear music, and I'm like, oh, this would be beautiful with, the signs and all of that, and I get it, 100%. But, again, you have to understand, if you don't have the skill, it doesn't matter. Even I, as an interpreter, who's a fluent interpreter, I still will not post music videos. It's not my niche, I'm not a native deaf signer who has that skill to be able to understand and fully grasp the language and get it and make it beautiful as a beautiful product. And I will include links to multiple different beautiful performers that, they just take ASL and if they understand it and they know how to make it work. And it's something I can't do. And maybe you can't do it. I've seen some videos, and in all honesty, some of the people's videos are bad. They're really bad.
And understand, from my perspective as a deaf person, as I watch these videos, it just kind of makes me feel almost, disgusted. Like, it's not visually pleasing, and I'm actually offended. Because that's my language, and I want to see it in its beauty. I'd rather see somebody who knows how to take it and interpret it correctly, and it makes me feel more inspired that way and feel good. When I watch someone just signing with not good skill, I don't know, it feels like they're looking down on me, and they're just taking random signs and throwing them together, and that's all. It's not right. I don't feel that's respectful to me.
And for people who are just learning sign, it can be really hard for them to understand, why people feel this way. But they do. That's all. They do. And maybe once you get involved with the deaf community, then you'll understand better that people aren't trying to be mean. Well, honestly, some people are mean. If they say, oh, you suck and things like that, they're just stupid. I'm sorry. But, there's just words. But a lot of people, I see them leaving comments on the video saying, hey, I saw your video. Do you want feedback? And the performer, so to speak, just says no. And they're just trying to be helpful. So please accept it. It's so important. I watch people and they say, oh, I want to be an interpreter. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then they make these videos and it's ruining your reputation before you're even involved within the deaf community. And I just feel like, oh, I want to help you. Like, stop, please. It's not to be mean, It's to protect you. So please understand that. It's not anyone trying to be mean, And this video is not intended to hearing people can't make sign music videos. Not at all. I will include at least 2 interpreters who are amazing at it. Oh, their videos are beautiful. Not all deaf people can make sign music videos either.
I can't do it. I suck.
Right, yeah, no, you're not that great. But anyone, can have the skill and do that. It's not a hearing deaf thing at all. So just please think before you go ahead and do something bad. I understand it's fun and it's great, but there's so much more involved. It's such a complicated thing. So please think before you do sign music videos.
And if you still want to make them for your own personal use, not post it on YouTube for everyone to see, that's perfectly fine. Go ahead and do that, on your own time. If you want to show some of your friends or something, great. Just don't post it on YouTube for a whole world to see. That's really risking it.
It's not a gimmick for fame, please. Okay? Well, I know this might have been a little offensive to some people, but we're trying to be helpful. So please,
honestly, sometimes, the truth hurts. It is what it is.
Right. So hopefully you still enjoy the video no matter what. If you did, please click like. We'd appreciate it. And leave a comment, but a positive comment, if you want to. Go ahead and start a discussion.
Yeah, and go ahead, feel free to disagree with us, but do it in a respectful way. That's perfectly fine. It's good to have a discussion. Just don't start throwing mean comments. Just be careful with your word choices.
Right, because I will delete you. Yep. Okay, well, just remember to subscribe and check out our Patreon page, and we'll see you in the next video.
Oh, and also check out all of our social media links. We have some new ones, cool ones on there, Twitter and Snapchat. So check them out.
Right, check it out. All right, see you in the next one. Bye.